What's up, Wikimaniacs? Welcome to another Monday Reddit reading episode. It's your boy Sean, and this week we have a husband who can't figure out what he wants, a patient who is forced to give a sample, a wife who uses spicy food as revenge, a mom who almost calls the cops on another mom, and it wouldn't be a Monday episode without a segment by the Amazing Underbakke. So, of course, we're going to end the episode that way, unless you're a patron or a YouTube member. And then you'll get to hear a man who tries and fails at using the Dennis system. Reddit on Wiki starts now.
Therapy.
I'm not reading.
It's
Hey, so I realize now by the looks on my co-host faces, the Dennis system is only
It's
popular.
Always Sunny?
There you go. There it is.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Got
I
it.
thought maybe thought that would have been more well received, but I guess not. No worries.
I mean, it's the intro, so we didn't react.
you could smile. You can fucking smile. Don't do that.
But
Illegal.
Josh doesn't show.
Yeah, but then I get the confidence that I need to continue.
Well, I'm
on.
smiling for you now, brother.
Thank you, brother. It's all downhill. Anyways, boys, say hello.
Hi.
Did we
Hi.
do that?
I mean, yeah,
No.
but you didn't
No,
introduce
yeah.
yourself or us.
You didn't even introduce the show.
Yeah, I said it's your boy Sean. I said Reddit
Oh,
on
did
Wiki
you?
starts
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Oh, but
did
that was
all
before the
that.
intro.
Yeah, I mean,
Now we're-
Yeah, but that,
do I got to do it again after the intro? All right, fuck it. You guys know these guys. John,
do they?
Josh, do they not? If you don't, turn it off, actually. This podcast is
No,
only
no,
for
no,
dedicated
no.
listeners.
Don't say
We don't.
that.
We
Don't
don't
say
like
that.
any new.
would
No new friends. Day ones only.
Oh, damn. We'd have like 6 listeners, I think.
Well, I mean, if we cut it off now, then it becomes like a hype exclusive thing.
Half
you know
them
what
would
I'm
be
saying?
your moms, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
For sure.
true. Sean and exclusive stuff is always funny to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. All right, John, Josh, anything to cover up top before we just hop into it?
I'm bald on my face right now.
I know.
Yeah,
Baby boy
we
looking
talked about it
22.
at length before we recorded, but we should acknowledge that Josh is bald.
I'm going through my midlife crisis.
Gotta love it.
Not even midlife. Not even close.
Dead by 60, baby. Let's go.
That's the only way. I'm here to party.
That's what I'm trying to be.
Here for a good time, not a long time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, are we ready to hop into the first one, boys?
Absolutely. But first, before we do that, I just want to ask, Sean, you get a new haircut? Because it's looking good, my guy.
Oh, thank you. I did get a haircut, the same haircut as usual, but my barber was like, you should try 60-40 instead of 50-50. And he
Whoa.
styled it. And I don't know what he did, but like it's kind of just naturally laying this way. So I don't know if he gave me the same haircut or a different one. But thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
You're looking good, brother.
Thank you. Stop it. Keep going.
You're looking real good.
Hell
yeah.
Thank you. All right. All right. This first one is coming from r/chew off my chest, cross posted by Ultimate Nintendo Hero. And I'm not going to lie, when I read the title, I was like, oh, we did this one last week because it's very similar.
Okay.
But kind of same vibe. And I guess it's to be expected because it's around Father's Day.
Okay.
So here we go.
Yeah.
This is titled, I am a terrible wife and I didn't understand my husband of 10 years.
Oh,
So kind of similar vibe. To
very
one we
similar.
read,
Yeah.
right?
Very similar
And I
title
was
for
like,
sure.
this is almost the exact same thing, right? And then I read it and I was like, okay, I could use it. It is the top one of the week. So,
Oh, shit.
you know, people love the story, I guess.
People demand it.
The people demanded it. All right. I, 38 female, have been married to my husband, 38 male, for 10 years. We dated for 2 years before marriage, but also dated a year and a half during the end of our college years. My husband is a good man. He works from home as a tech executive. She must be nice. God.
Damn.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck my life.
Damn, call us poor, why don't you?
Yeah. He goes into his office around 7:30 a.m. and works until 6 p.m. every day. In addition to this, he'll do the laundry every week while I'm at work, does most of the cooking, almost all of the meal planning and spends all of his time with me and his extended family. When
Holy
he's
shit.
not working, he spends most of his free time working on projects around our property, small renovation projects. Parentheses, he renovated our entire home himself when we bought it. Improvements to our yard, such as a huge deck, a fancy patio, pergolas, custom wood furniture. He is completely supportive of me, encourages me in positive ways, and pushes me to pursue my interests. I could not ask for a better partner. He really is a dream come true.
Hell yeah.
My husband does well professionally. He doesn't spend much on much. I read that wrong. He doesn't spend money on much beyond tools to aid in our ever ongoing renovation projects. He always has been difficult to give meaningful gifts to. For Christmas this year, he just didn't even ask for anything. When I asked him what he'd like for Christmas, he told me that he didn't need anything. And this is his default response when it comes to any gift-giving occasion. His birthday, Christmas. He's even asked me specifically in the past not to give him anything for Valentine's Day or for our anniversary. This has always made me want to put in more effort. But the truth is, the more effort I put in, the less he seems to like whatever I give him. He tells me he likes it whenever I give it to him, whatever I give to him. But his smile doesn't seem authentic, and he doesn't really seem to express any interest in most things I give him beyond the moment, as if the interest he expresses is more of an appeasement. He doesn't own much beyond tools and a not collectible sneaker collection. He just likes relatively mundane sneakers and books, most of which are work related. But before his birthday this year, I asked him if he wanted what he wanted for his birthday. He said, "I don't need anything." I mulled this over, and then I fell down a rabbit hole on the internet about relationship advice. This led me going back to him and asking him what he would like to do on his birthday. He said he had a lot of chores to do and was hoping to spend his birthday, which was on a Sunday this year, completing a couple of house projects. I wasn't satisfied with this after considering it for a while, so I later asked him, what would be a nice thing to do on your birthday? He looked at me for a moment and started talking. We live on Long Island, New York. On the South Shore is a busy series of bays and barrier islands that are set up as beaches. There's a causeway that connects the main island to the beaches on the barrier islands. We visit the beach several times a week in the summer, driving over that causeway. He said that he thinks it would be nice to drive across the causeway early in the morning before the road got busy, to drive slow and enjoy the view. He's always been the driver, and it's difficult to appreciate the view when he's trying to keep an eye on the road, and that he always wanted to be a passenger so that he could focus entirely on the view of the sun coming up over the bay and the Atlantic. Then he just smiled and turned his focus back to what he was working on. We've driven over that bridge maybe 1,000 times together, and he's always driven. Knowing that that's what he asked for, I felt like an absolute asshole. The morning of his birthday, we woke up early, made some coffee, and I drove him over the causeway to the beaches and back. I drove slow, and he stared at the view on both sides of the car. When we made it back over the causeway, he asked if we could do it again. So we did. And when we made it off the causeway the second time, I asked if he wanted to go again, but he said no, that he was hungry and wanted to go home. I don't know if it was my imagination or not, but I thought he looked happier that day than I had seen him in a long time. He busied himself working on the deck, and I closed myself into the bathroom and fought off sobbing, because all he wanted for his birthday was to look at the water, and I got him another fucking watch that he'll put on with all his other watches and never wear. I got him a watch because I actually don't know the man that I've been married to for a decade, who I've spent over 15 years of my life with.
It sounds like he has a bunch of watches too. Why'd you get him another one?
Yeah, he keep getting the watches.
Just 30 watches from the years of marriage.
Lined up.
Damn.
The next week, I asked him what would be a nice thing to do on a Saturday. He said he's always wanted to go to the Cradle of Aviation Museum ever since it's had its major renovation. I looked it up. It reopened following that major renovation in 2002. We were both 14 years old.
Oh my gosh. That man's been wanting to go there for decade.
This guy knows he can go by himself, right? Like he could have gone before marriage too.
He's basically
funny.
wanted to go there his entire life and hasn't made it. It's only 20 minutes away from where we live. When I asked him why he never went, he said he's always just been busy with work. So I took him to the museum, and I knew he was always interested in aerospace because his father and grandparents were all involved in that industry. When we got home from it, he went to work on our new planters out back, and I couldn't stop myself from sobbing in the bathroom. Now, with Father's Day coming up, I asked him what would be a nice thing to do on Father's Day. I always give him a Father's Day gift from our dog, and we have people over. I asked him what would be a nice gift from our dog this year, and he said that he thinks it would be nice if we drove out to the National Cemetery at Calverton to visit his father's grave. And he then said he didn't need anything for a gift. When I pressed him on it, he said, he's not a father since we don't have kids. My father's dead. I don't have anything to celebrate. And then I just broke down sobbing there in front of him. He thought I was upset about not having kids, but truth is, we never prioritized it, and it was too late medically for me when we did try. He had always taken a whatever happens, happens approach to the topic of parenthood, neither wanting nor not wanting children. But I was actually upset because in that moment, I realized that he didn't want anything I had pushed on him on Father's Day, and he had made the mistake. And I had made the mistake of prioritizing him over his feelings. His father passed weeks before our wedding, and his father's goal was to live long enough to attend our wedding, but the cancer was too far along. I fed him cake and steak for 10 years on Father's Day without realizing his thoughts were on the other side of the island at his father's grave. I failed him for our entire relationship. He asked me for absolutely nothing except that we not make a fuss over him. And I failed at even doing that.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Starting off on a tough
Coming up
one.
with
My apologies. Yeah.
Haymakers.
Jeebus.
Well, you can go off on this one, John, if you want. I know this one probably hits a bit closer to home for you.
Yeah. I mean, for this situation, what I kind of can see for this the spouse is they have all the best intention in the world, right? And I think the problem is society kind of dictates us that we have to give gifts, and consumerism kind of say we have to give gifts, we have to do extravagant things for our partners. There's a societal pressure, especially with the advent of social media, is like, hey, you got to do all these things to validate your marriage, right? But some people, they just really enjoy the simple things in life, whether that's taking a stroll or, what like he does, he just wanted to see the sunrise. And for some people, that's everything to them. I don't necessarily blame the wife for, she's saying that I don't know my husband throughout this whole time. She was probably just led to like, hey, going to online forums or just seeing their other friends and doing this grand gestures for their partners and all that. But to me, she sounded very empathetic, right? Like at the end of the day, like her goal was to make sure her husband was happy. Execution might have been flawed, and she probably went a little bit over extra than she should have. But the love is there. You can see that the love is there, and she just needs to understand that, hey, he's just a simple dude, wants the simple things in life and doesn't want anything extravagant. So hopefully moving forward, she'll take that to heart. And I do like hearing when she says like, hey, what's something nice that, you possibly want to do on your day? So giving him the option, giving him like the avenue to say like, hey, speak your mind because I want to do things that you enjoy. So, it's not too late. I feel like I wish he opened up a little bit too, like earlier on and say like, hey, maybe these are maybe don't buy me watches. I just want this. He could also do a little bit better in communicating, but they just seem like they're different in terms of like what they prioritize in life. But there's nothing really inherently wrong about this marriage to me. It just seems like they just want each other to be happy. They just don't know how to figure that out yet.
Yeah. I think just to go off of your point at the end there about he could have communicated more, I feel maybe he's also like, oh, I didn't know I could ask for events, you know, like that. Like he's probably conditioned as well to think, oh, I need a gift or like
material
gift is the only way to for these events or something like that. So I don't want that. And not thinking to communicate, oh, hey, I'd maybe like to do this or something like that. So good on the wife for trying a new tactic. And unlocking that new aspect to their marriage. Because that's, I mean, and like you said, she's trying, so it's not a bad marriage.
Not at all.
She is actively trying to do what he wants to do. Little short-sighted on the Father Day side of things with his own dad. I mean, that's a tough one. But again, he doesn't seem
Too resentful.
No, he doesn't seem bothered by it.
Yeah.
Whether that's true or not, that's something they can communicate and talk to, and break that down more if they feel like they need to. But yeah, all in all, this seems like a fairly good marriage that she's trying to unlock what he actually wants, and I think that's nice.
Yeah, and I saw the switch too. Like as Sean was telling the story, that I feel like he realized that, oh, she asked me what I wanted. Maybe I could start opening it more. Because in the beginning, he was like, oh, I don't know. I don't really want anything. I don't really want to do anything. But, she was persistent. She wanted to make him happy. And he finally opened up and communicated. And it seemed like every time she asked for a follow-up, he was ready to say like, oh yeah, I'd love to visit my dad. So hopefully, I don't know. I don't remember how long they've been together, but if they keep continuing that route of just expressing what they want and, the things that they want to do, they sound like a really great couple. They just need to talk a little bit more.
I will say it would have been nice of them to maybe start unlocking this, years before, when it sounds like they maybe wanted to try and have kids. It's like if they'd maybe looked outside of work or the grind set kind of thing, or like prioritizing other things, they maybe could have gotten around to kids if they wanted to, which sounds like they were on the fence about. But I'm just saying, like, if they had opened up years before that, they could have maybe started on children, and he could have actually been a father if he wanted to. So yeah, just another aspect. Not that they're wrong for not doing it. It's just, another thing that they could have unlocked earlier.
See what happens when you actually talk. Just talk.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
You unlock so much things if you just communicate what you want.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, and I just wanted to say, like, right now it seems like OP is really only looking at like the negative part of like, oh my God, I've missed 10 years of being able to do this. But if you look on the bright side, I mean,
you live till 60.
You
got 20 more years.
Y'all are 38. Y'all got a lot of life to live. And this is no jab on people like with kids, because I definitely want to have kids at some point. But like 38 and no kids, you have a lot of time, and
sounds like money.
38, yeah, 38 with kids, you're probably you're dedicating a good portion of that to raising the kid, and rightfully so. But I'm saying in this aspect, you just found out how to communicate with each other to get his actual wants and desires, and now you have a lot of fucking time to do so. So like looking at the positives of it, it's only going to get better from here. So it's if OP actually listened to the show, doubt. But if they did, I would say yeah. Look on the bright side. You got so many more years of doing things that you both find fun together.
Yeah, and there's lots of stuff off the island if you want. Want to venture off Long Island there.
Very close to Manhattan.
Very close to a lot of things, actually.
Or all of that area is pretty. The tri-state area.
Damn it, I want to go to New York now.
So
I want to go with you guys, and we just eat the whole time.
When do we? Yeah, I always want to go to New York and eat.
Ugh.
Okay, coming up next, we're not getting any higher. In fact, we might get even mad at this one. This one is coming.
I'm okay with mad. I like to lash out.
So this one is coming. Personal story. This one's coming from a Venmo person. I mentioned it.
Whoa.
I told you guys that I would read it, and I am reading it. So this is coming from r/Reddit on Wiki, not cross-posted. In fact, posted.
That's us.
By Legally Pale Poppin'. This is a patient is forced to give a sample. So before we do this, as you can expect, trigger warning. Lack of consent, loss of autonomy. Also, thank you, Legally Pill Poppin', for putting the specific trigger warnings on there, because much appreciated.
Sean
That's
doesn't do
very
them.
helpful.
So I have to proactively record them, or what would you call it? Proactively?
Josh
or
from the
what-
future.
yeah, after
know-
the fact, I record some trigger warnings.
Wild. I always thought I recorded them mid whenever we're like, this deserves a trigger warning. I didn't know you actually. Again, I don't listen.
Sometimes
to
you
the show,
miss it, and that's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
It happens.
Sometimes you say it and then you don't do it and you move on to the next story. And I also forget because I have to listen to it a second time. Like, I could have sworn we did. Oh, I guess we forgot.
yeah, sometimes we just
We definitely always have the best of intentions.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
Execution, majority of times, flop.
Yeah. For sure.
That's why
For
we have
sure.
an editor.
Yeah,
It's
you.
me.
It's Josh.
All right, let's get into it. I, 24 female, have a whole mess of chronic medical conditions. This includes all formally diagnosed through genetic testing, blood tests, etc., just to be clear, SLE or lupus, classic EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and POTS, as well as several others that aren't relevant to the story, but I'd be happy to add if need be. I also have been formally diagnosed with PTSD, ADHD, and autism.
I got 2 out of 3, baby. Let's go.
Rockin'
That's
and
a
rollin'.
pass. That's a pass, John.
That's a pass.
For backstory / context, this isn't my first rodeo when it comes to medical trauma in the ER, which I'm sure that other members of the Chronic Illness Club can relate to. The experience that caused my PTSD was when I was 15 years old, and after receiving my first pap smear in the emergency room, while in absolutely mind-bending pain and screaming at the top of my lungs, the PA who performed this was also the one who determined that I had just had a quote-unquote mild bladder infection and sent me home with a hefty Vicodin prescription and an antibiotic. Even more so odd was that while in the room, she had gotten a call from the radiologist after my CT scan who had informed her that my ovary had failed to show returning blood flow. After getting off said call, she proceeded to wave that off and said that given my age, it was probably just a blurry spot on the CT and that a bladder infection made much more sense.
I don't know any of these medical terms, but even I'm like, that sounds bad.
Yeah, same. I'm not going to lie.
Bitch.
yeah.
It's crazy to get results and then be like, nah,
Let's
probably
ignore
not.
those.
Probably not, right?
Why
Yeah,
even
probably
do
it's
the
something
CT?
else.
Why
Yeah,
even
why-
do the scan?
I don't, Sean, did they say if they were where they were at located geographically wise?
They have not.
Okay, because if this is the U.S., they just fucking wasted their money by running that scan and not
Yeah.
doing a damn thing about it.
True. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Fuck, we suck. Anyways,
We absolutely do.
thankfully, my gynecologist, who I had been seeing for about 2 to 3 years at that time, read the report and called first thing the next morning to start me on blood thinner injections, which pretty much saved my life. My
shit.
actual diagnosis was a DVT blood clot in my right ovary that was a complete blockage of that said ovary.
So that little blip on the scan was an actual blockage, and the PA was just like, this could
It's
be
blurry.
Something else.
It's just a
Oh,
blurry
It's just
spot.
blurry.
What do you mean it's blurry?
Holy shit.
High-tech medical scan. It's too blurry.
I feel like, okay, also not medical. Well, I mean, I am a medical professional, but not in the clinical sense. But like, if it's blurry, wouldn't you just,
do it again.
yeah, I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
that costs money. We're in America. So, I mean, but
Well,
that's
they
more
might not
so
be.
on the hospital, right? You would think.
Yeah.
For taking the blurry photo.
I would
digress.
sue
Yeah.
for malpractice.
Absolutely.
This then led me down a path of the past 10 years. Hematologist, rest in peace to my childhood hematologist, who was the most proactive and caring doctor I had ever had, and a bone marrow biopsy and a diagnosis of an autoimmune aplastic anemia. I gotta say this, legally pill popping, you have much faith in our knowledge.
I cannot spell any of these words.
You have so much faith that we know what this is.
I'm like, I've heard of those things. Some of them.
I need to pop another pill so my brain can work so I can retain some of this information.
I know what a blood clot is.
Yeah, we got the
I
blood
know
clot.
that.
We got the blood clot part. Which brings me to now, specifically this past July. I know I've already rambled quite a bit here. So the gist of what happened was I went to the ER after spending several hours vomiting blood and a pain in my left flank so horrible that I ended up passing out on a bathroom floor.
Oh my goodness.
I live
Holy
right
shit.
across the street from the hospital, and my fiance immediately took me over there. I should also mention that I have gastroparesis, and a majority of scans I have had over the years have shown some degree of constipation due to how slowly my stomach moves.
Mm.
My lab results came back showing my hemoglobin was deadly low at a level of 5.7, and I ended up with 2 blood transfusions and 2 nights in the hospital.
Jesus.
Before I was taken upstairs, after they informed me of the lab results, transfusion, and my admittance to the office, while already completely overstimulated from receiving so much information and struggling to keep up with everything going on, and
This is me in a story right now.
yeah, and my tism-tastic
Sorry.
brain basically melting from the rapid fire information in the already simulation nightmare that the ER is, the physician's assistant comes back into the room with the nurse, and the interaction goes like this.
Wait, it's the same PA?
No, because that
There's
was
no way.
There's no. Yeah,
I'm about
there's
to say,
no
it's
way.
the same one that read that shit wrong. I'm like, I would not want to see your ass again.
No, ain't no way.
Sounds like this is years apart.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
if
it
I'm
was
not
like 5.
mistaken. Yeah.
Was it 5 years or 10 years?
9.
9.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Close enough.
The results of your CT scan are back, and the only thing they are showing is a bunch of constipation on your lower right side. So you're going to get an enema. I interrupt her and I say, "No, I'm not." I then explain the gastroparesis and how it may affect my scan. She immediately becomes visibly irritated and says, "Well, that's all the scan showed, so the pain you're having is obviously from the constipation." Me? But the pain is on my left flank, and I'm not constipated. My stomach just moves slowly. I'm refusing to get an enema. Her, now very irritated, slams her hands down on the countertop and sighs. "Fine. Whatever. Be in pain then, because an enema is the only thing that will change that. Not my problem. I'm going to get a fecal sample."
Jesus.
That PA is the enemy.
Yeah,
God
for real.
damn.
Me, I say, "I can get a fecal sample?" And she says, "No," loudly sighing as if I'm an idiot. "You're constipated. You can't give me a sample." Me, "I never said that. I just told you earlier when I gave you the urine sample that I would have no trouble giving you a stool sample as well. I had never said I was constipated." Slams her hands on the counter again. "Yeah, okay. Roll on your side." Nurse, who is with her, rolls me on my side while I am telling them both no. And my fiance is extremely confused and still trying to focus on the quote, hemoglobin so low that she may die without a blood transfusion thing we had just found out a few minutes before this. PA to the nurse, hold her legs down. Me, obviously distraught and squirming. Her says, "Don't you dare kick me." She then proceeds to lift the sheet off of me, pull my skirt and underwear down, perform the procedure. I think it was a fecal occult test to be exact, while holding my arm down with her free hand, all while I'm screaming no and saying I did not give consent to do this, and while I'm crying. Besides telling the nurse to, quote, make sure you're holding her down, and telling my fiance that the test can be, quote unquote, unpleasant for some people, she didn't say or communicate anything that she was doing to me while she was behind me, leaving me completely vulnerable and having zero autonomy during the event. She then let go of my arm so I could pull up my underwear and skirt at the same time. And then she placed the specimen in a collection bag, and her and the nurse both left the room. Between receiving the first blood transfusion and a shift change with a new nurse before going upstairs to inpatient hematology and receiving pain meds, I never got the chance to do anything about what had occurred. I was able to see, after being upstairs for several hours, the results of the fecal occult test on my phone, which happened to be negative. Now that it's been almost a year since the incident and things have calmed down for me, 5 weeks of iron transfusions later, my hemoglobin now sits at a nice 15.4, and I'm no longer sitting in the danger zone. Lol. I'm not sure if this is something I should speak with someone about. Obviously, mentally and emotionally speaking, I feel like my autonomy was completely ripped away from me. And even having told the PA early on that I am autistic and also a short version of my previous PTSD-inducing experience that happened to me when I was 15, plus my discomfort and trigger with anything involving procedures of more intimate nature, to which she then assured me at the time there would be no issue, and I would be formally informed if anything of the sort became necessary, and that I would have full control over what or wasn't done. The way things were handled the entire time I spent in the ER before moving upstairs made me feel so violated both physically and mentally. Legally speaking, I know scenarios like this can be difficult. I don't want to put myself through the hell of reliving this use unless it's absolutely worth it to do so. Is this worth pursuing a legal route? I'm kind of at a loss if she actually did anything that would be considered wrong by hospital standards or legal standards. So any advice on that would be appreciated as well. To anyone who read this to the end, thank you for hearing my voice. ETA, for context, I'm located in Indiana.
Okay, so
Wow.
American healthcare system. Holy shit. I know it's been terrible, but who?
Wait. Let me start with this. We are not medical professionals, no
Yes.
lawyers.
Yes.
I was absolutely going to go.
I was like, this would be better if it was just directed at Rebecca, I think.
Yeah.
Also, one of our many doctors that we have on staff.
Or
I don't,
lawyers.
True, we do.
Not on staff. We don't pay any of them, but we have a lot of Dr. Wikimaniacs.
Who has better advice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know everybody's specialty, but we have a lot of people that just passed and became doctors.
Yes.
We've had a few people.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we've had a few people be like, I'll come on for an episode if you need
Yeah.
for a doctor episode.
Shout out Effie, the original Venmo Go.
Woo!
Yeah.
She's a doctor, right?
I believe so. They just
I believe
passed.
so, yeah.
Yeah. And then also
all right.
Dr. Carolina.
Yeah.
Ooh, Carolina.
There it is. Yeah, I wanted John to say it. I didn't want to be the one.
Yeah. All right. So again, Josh's warning aside, we are not medical professionals in any sensitive fashion, but I don't know per se if like in an emergency setting, I don't know how like consent works in an emergency setting because it's like a life saving situation, right? Like I feel like doctors will try to do everything as best as they can to save a life, right? And
Yeah.
that might involve having to do that. But in this situation, it was an emergency situation. I feel like if if there were a doctor, I feel like they should get to know their patient a little bit better too. With the conditions that they had, the myriad of conditions they had, them the fact that they mentioned they were autistic and also like had ADHD and had some PTSD in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Not taking that to consideration is very callous, in my opinion, the way that doctor approached it. I feel like they should have brought like another specialist or another doctor during those consultations to be able to, talk to OP in a professional setting. Like, hey, this is what we might have to do. I know you have, like these triggers and you have these things that you might not be uncomfortable for you, but we have to do these procedures to diagnose you a little bit better. So that way we can potentially, save your life in the long run. That doctor was callous as hell. And I don't know medical procedures, but
PA, not a
if
doctor.
you're willing to go to legal route and unfortunately have to live through these situations, this sounds like it brought you emotional distress. And I think to me that could be brought up in a court of law, like hey, this fucked you up in some type of way.
Yeah, my recommendation would be get a, I think most lawyers offer like a 15-minute consultation.
Yes.
I'm sure you could talk to, a medical specialist lawyer who could give you much better advice than we can. And so that's probably what I would recommend. Try and get a 15-minute consultation, see what legally you can go through. It's been a year. I don't know if there's a limitation on what that would be. Again, I'm Canadian.
Wrong people to
I'm
ask.
not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. There's so many wrong
We're
things for
barely
me to even
content
speak about
creators,
this.
people.
But it did feel wrong to me. It felt like they should have asked, like they should have taken your consent into consideration yes, doctors probably deal with tons of shitty people on a daily basis, but that's no excuse to treat patients horribly. So I don't know. It feels wrong to me, and it feels like there could be something to do here. That being said, I don't know what those are, so that's where my advice ends.
Yeah, this one's tough to give advice on, just because, like we said, we really have nothing to offer. But I guess we do have, our audience and our
Yes.
audience of doctors and lawyers
Smarter people than we.
who will,
Oh, yes.
who can comment on it. Maybe save you, But even with the comments, yeah, I do agree. Josh and John, getting a consultation with a lawyer, I think could be very smart. I'm so sorry that happened to you. That seems like such a terrible situation. It's insane that even if they had to do what they did, it's insane that they didn't explain any of it to you and then
talk you through like this is what's
okay,
gonna
that's the
happen.
thing.
This is what's, because like I've been in like it wasn't an emergency, but like just things with doctors, and usually the doctor or whoever's in there, PA or whatever, will be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and this is why we're gonna do it.
Mhm.
And it's all very, upfront. So like, I get it's an emergency, but I feel like if the PA had enough time to slam her hands on the table, they probably had enough time to explain like what was going on and why they needed the fecal occult thing.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
or what that meant, or like how they get, the sample for that or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know legally or medically if anything went wrong, but I am sorry that happened. And hopefully, you reach out, get a consultation, or if any of our lawyers or doctors that listen to the show hear this, maybe they can leave some comments on the Discord or YouTube.
Yeah,
For
that's no
sure.
excuse for the doctor or the PA to act a certain way. Like, yes, it
No.
could be frustrating, doing that, but slamming and showing emotions to a patient that's also equally, if not more frustrated than you, that
Yeah.
is wild to me.
Probably 1,000 times more scared than you.
Oh, absolutely.
But also didn't
Like-
sound like they like the OP wasn't escalating the situation. They were just like, oh, like why do you like ask like
Why?
basically
Asking
asking
why.
for clarification. It's like the least you could do is just explain that. Like, why do you get so?
The
Why are you getting
least.
so frustrated,
Bro, explain it to me like I'm fucking 5.
Yeah.
What
and
are you going to do? What are the steps? Please.
And again, I can almost guarantee doctors deal with shitty patients.
Oh, of course.
Just from like the friends I have that are in nursing and doctors. Yeah, of course they deal with shitty patients as well. But when a patient is not being shitty and is just genuinely asking for clarification, the least you can do is just clarify that. It makes your job easier, makes their experience better, and then you don't come to issues like this one.
Yeah. And wouldn't you want a consenting patient? They'll make your life easier
Yes,
for you as
100%.
well. Oh my God. Oh, Sean, please tell me you have happier stories, bro.
I have a happier, not a story, but it deserves to be linked because it is one of our most upvoted posts on our subreddit, posted
Okay.
by the 67th Bitch Brigade.
Yeah.
Really a
Goated
goat
at this point. I've heard that name so many times.
That's right. They put have a break from all the sad story and take a look at the kittens my sister found, and then posted 5 pictures of kittens.
If you'll
and
look in the comments, you'll see I commented on that one.
Show me
Nice.
the kitties.
here's the link, and link will be in the show notes for this episode too. But for the sake of the podcast listeners, that'll just be it'll be there. We won't discuss them.
They're
But
cuties.
if you need a little break from the 2 depressing stories, we got some cats to see. The 3rd picture is absolutely unhinged. All right, this 4th one is yet again another personal story from the Venmo on
Whoa.
our subreddit. So this is coming from r/Reddit on Wiki. This time coming from Witchy Chaos Ground Score.
Okay.
It sounds like Sean is throwing a hint over here. You want your shit read, you know what to do.
Only because I specifically mentioned these 2 that I would read it. because they've been, asking on Venmo for a while. Multiple Venmos. I feel bad taking the money, but
And also Venmos are still going to a good cause, people. So
yeah,
Yes,
I was about
they
to
are.
say. Actually, I shouldn't feel bad because we don't get any of that money. So if you Venmo me 5 times asking me to read something, and you help Nora 5 times, I'm probably going to read it. Let the precedent be set. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to lie to you, Witchy Chaos. This first sentence is I accept your apology because you are correct in this first sentence. They write, I'm sorry if this is hard to read, but here it is. And I'll tell you what, Witchy Chaos, this is difficult to read. I hate to chop on a Wikimaniac, but
do you still have that button, Josh? Because this is gonna be
Oh.
Sean reading this shit. I don't know how to read.
I did it.
Yep.
yeah, Witchy Chaos, I gotta say this. This is 2 very long paragraphs. I work much
Say
better
it
in
with one breath.
in
Sean,
3
let's
sentence
see it.
paragraphs. I just is easier on the eyes. I gotta say, Witchy Chaos, for your next personal story. I'm just throwing it out there. But here we go. Here it is. I have now gotten my family of 9 listening to y'all. Yes, I'm from Texas.
Oh,
And my
shit.
mom and sister agree I need to share this story because y'all are the ones that helped me build the spine to leave a horrid relationship. Horrid.
That's all you.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's all you.
Mm-hmm. So here it goes. I'm a mother of 4 girls and my ex, Jeremy. And I got to say this.
Fuck you, Jeremy.
Not only do we say fuck you, Jeremy, Jeremy spells his name stupid. So doubly
no.
fuck you,
Tell
Jeremy.
him, Sean.
I've only
Tell him
seen
about
it-
stupid spellings. Go
How
ahead.
could this be spelled?
It's only 1 letter off, but it's just dumb.
Oh,
Is it with a G instead of a J?
No, it's not like a
Dropping an
Jeffrey
E?
type thing. Dropping an E, adding an O. This is Jeromy. Fuck you, Jeremy.
With an O?
That was
Yeah.
a wild way. God damn.
Well, Jeremy's dumbass is the father of my younger 2. This man in no way was built for fatherhood or a healthy relationship. For some backstory, I was a stay-at-home mom for 4 years prior to meeting Jeremy, and the ex before him had a family that taught me how to make tamales as a side hustle. Now, I make spicy tamales, and I made a small name for myself during the fall for this savory treat.
Hell yeah.
So, let's get into the story.
Caliente.
Jeremy loves to slut shame.
Oh.
Red flag.
I'm shaming the way your
Oh.
dumbass spells your name, Jeremy.
damn.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Stupid as Jeremy.
Oh.
Now, my black book is not huge, but Jeremy's, we could say, wouldn't be a nightstand novel.
What's a black?
What's a
book?
black book?
I think a black book is like slang for
Body count too?
I think body count.
Okay.
Okay.
And I guess a nightstand novel, again, sorry, I don't read. I guess a nightstand novel is a small book, if I had to assume.
Okay.
So
So
his
she's
is-
saying her body count, not big, his body count, huge, but he still loves to slut shame.
Mm.
Mm,
So
the double standards, huh?
I never understand that bullshit.
I don't get it either. My family and friends know that I hate the word whore. And if it's referred to me, it's considered a hard limit, and I'm known for small, petty revenges.
Good.
Okay. I'm
I
buckling
respect
in. I love petty revenges, baby.
That's all you needed to say, Witchy Chaos.
That's all you needed to say.
Well, one day, Jeremy was on a hitch or an oil field, for people that don't know,
Okay.
and I kept hearing my iPad go off. Oh, how many husbands have been caught with the iPad?
The dumbass connected it.
I kept hearing my iPad go off. I finally checked it and found not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 ongoing conversations.
Oh my goodness.
Jeremy was sleeping his way through his hitch. 3 out of the 5 from reading the messages I can verify had already done the deed.
Mm.
Now, I kept my cool and I called him. He then denied the whole thing until I sent screenshots of the conversation while he was talking to me, and yet he still denied it.
What a dumbass.
Oh, he doesn't even spell his name correctly.
Yeah.
That's true.
When this didn't work, he then began to gaslight me. How dare you snoop, actually? How can you not trust me? And then he
Gaslight,
said
'cause
it.
He's on an oil.
I know. I was going to say,
Wow.
you should light him with gas in that oil field. That's what you need. Actually, I wish harm on this person. How about that?
I ain't even going to fuck around and beat around the bush. Fuck this
Yeah,
guy.
I
I'm
wish
wishing
I
harm.
wish harm on this person.
Actually, I was wishing harm as soon as I saw how he spelled Jeremy.
Didn't need to hear more, actually. That was it.
The story was done. He sucks ass.
Light that gas. How about that?
And then he said it, and I could still hear him. You're only accusing me because you're at home being a whore yourself.
Oh,
Crazy accusation.
what a childish, just,
What's that even mean, bro?
Gonna go to name calling because I'm caught. He's stupid.
Well, that did it. I saw red and nothing else. Listen, men, if a girl is calm, no, it's literally before a storm. I calmly said, you know what? I just called to talk and said sorry to ruin the day, and I hung up. I then went back to making tamales. Now again, I make spicy tamales.
Ooh.
I make them by letting my peppers sweat before adding them to the masa.
Mm.
As I
I
was
don't even know what
making
that
them,
means.
masa is. Do you know what a tamale? Do they have tamales in?
Tamale,
Yeah, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I know what.
The
I know what
masa
they
is like
are.
the bread part of the
Okay.
filling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So as I was making them, I got lost in my own thoughts, and then boom, it came to me. I started cutting up my serranos, my jalapenos, my habaneros, and a few ghost peppers, and set
My
them into the
asshole hurts
pot.
just
No.
listening to this, bro. My
boil.
shit hurts already.
As a good homemaker, I do the laundry, and I pack up for my loving husband before he goes to work on the hitch. So I knew I had an upper hand.
Oh, she gonna put in her underwear.
I grabbed all of his underwear out of the dresser and out of the dirty clothes basket and grabbed a bigger pot and placed the laundry within. I poured my hell water and rage peppers on his underwear and I let him soak. I had them soak long enough for 15 dozen tamales to be made. Admittedly, I actually forgot about my hateful concoction.
It's marinated as fuck now.
So I
I've
grabbed
been sweating for
Oh
days.
my goodness.
his Satan undies and I put them in the dryer, folded them and laid them in his dresser and waited. His hitch is 7 days home, 14 days work. We got home and we went through the motions and he doubled down on the whole whore theory.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
So I washed the clothes.
Jerome. God.
So I washed his clothes as an apology and he repacked all his spicy briefs for work.
You have more patience than I would. I wouldn't do his laundry. Fuck that.
So Friday came and he left with my packed up anger and I waited. Now, my angel's behind a mic. I think that's us.
Oh.
Two of you know Texas heat and how much it can make us sweat.
Oh,
But
yeah.
did you know sweat can rehydrate rage? Saturday
a
afternoon.
science background or what? Hot tamale indeed.
Saturday afternoon, Jeremy called saying his personal peppers had and by personal pepper she means
Mhm.
yeah,
The
yeah.
dingleberry.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. First time I read that Witchy Chaos, I was confused.
It's his jalapeno is burning.
Yeah, the jalapeno had a slight heat to it, and he couldn't figure out why. He then said, tripling down, it was because I was a whore, and I probably gave him an STD.
You know what? Fucking other bitches. What is wrong with you?
Exactly fucking right.
This fucking angers me. I would kill this guy.
I'm
would.
doubling down on wishing
Holy
violence.
shit.
Give him a life sentence, revive his ass, and
This
then
dude
do it again.
is fucking other people and is actively gaslighting you to this degree is unbelievable.
Absolutely. This guy
I
is,
hope you kept screenshots. I hope you took them to the cleaners and not his laundry. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
his
definitely
money.
not his
Good one.
laundry. Sunday, he said he had the same issue and said baby powder helped, but he still burned. Monday, he was on fire and said now it has moved to burn his buns and accused me yet again of having an STD. But surely he wasn't blaming the other women.
He probably was.
He probably was. Don't give Jeremy too much credit.
Mhm.
But anyways, I went and got tested just so I could have receipts. Tuesday, he called after working in 105-degree weather and said his favorite appendage was red and he couldn't get any of the burn to stop, and it made it to every crevice of his body due to the sweat.
Lord.
Wednesday, I sent my results of being completely clean of any STDs. He went off on how dare I make it look like he has anything, if that makes any sense. This guy
It doesn't.
is, I don't know.
Ass.
It's just so terrible.
His brain's been baking the fucking Texas heat too long.
Oh my God.
Puffing that gas too much.
That afternoon, he's in tears about the burn, and it was 107 degrees that day. Now, I guess the burn was worth sharing because he met up with two of his mistresses to douse the flames. They end up burning as well.
Yes.
And they rip him a new one over messages that I got to read thanks to the live feed over on my iPad.
I fucking love it.
No.
Not only,
Screenshots, save them, put them in a
Yes.
book, everything.
Absolutely.
Please let us see it. I want to see that, please.
not only did they do this, but they seeked me out to tell me that he gave him an STD and posted about their drama on Facebook. I sent him a
What?
screenshot of the messages and added to his shame.
Oh, so the girls knew too that, it sounds like the girls knew
That he was
that
married?
he was married.
Sounds like it.
Well, they deserve the
They
damn
deserve
heat
the
too,
burn
baby.
as well,
They
baby.
deserve the burn.
A little less, but yes, they.
He
If
informed,
they knew and they still went with it, you trifling bitches, you deserve every damn ounce of it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't even think
Yeah.
it's a little less. I think if they know that he's married,
Full send.
we'll
the
send
burn.
the bird.
Well, I've always argued this, but they're not. I mean, they should respect the marriage for sure. But he's the one who made the promise. He deserves to burn in hell further, like a level lower than hell. You know what I mean?
Nah, lump them all together.
He's like
Combine 'em.
seventh. They're like sixth. You know what I mean? They're right there.
Package deal.
I'll let them all burn. I get the home. He informs me that evening that he isn't coming home and can't take it anymore. I get the home as nice as I could and finish up my side hustle and clean up. He comes home with a Z-Pack for me and him. No apology. What's a Z-Pack? Do y'all know?
Oh, it's to treat infections.
Oh, okay. Even though you're
Oh.
clean. Okay. This guy really is a dumbass. He comes home
Yeah.
with a Z-Pack for me and him, no apology, and a poor, pitiful story on how women lie. I never told him what happened, and I find it worth being the asshole. I know the risk on his spicy pee-pee I took, but a huge part of me feels that spicy pee-pee being out of commission for a few weeks was doing the world a favor. So
Yes.
there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll most likely will send more.
Ooh, I
I
will
hope so.
enjoy this much more. Again,
we would love the screenshots.
Yeah.
Please. I want to see those text messages and saying that how his jalapeno burns. Ooh, I want to read all of it. I'd show it to my wife too, and we'll just laugh. We love drama.
Stories like this make me hope hell is real and he burns in it someday. I wish the worst upon this person. No good things. So fucking anger inducing just to gaslight your partner that far instead of just taking your lumps and being like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Five different times that you've seen with like, and just to gaslight you. And I don't know. It makes me fucking angry.
The worst.
I don't even know what to say. I'm wishing for full violence. That's all I could say at this point.
I already said I'd kill him. So.
Jesus Christ.
It's open carry down there, right?
It is
True,
open carry.
true.
It is. It is. All right. Are we ready for our last story of the day? Unless you're a patron or YouTube member.
Let's get it.
Yes.
All right. This one is coming from r/true off my chest. Coming from, it's been a while since I used them, but they are definitely the 2024 MVP of our subreddit, Mary Gets 2011. Bah, indeed. I got yelled at by another mom at the park today.
Okay.
I wonder how often this happens.
Honestly, this scenario sounds like it could happen quite a bit.
Yeah.
I take my 2-year-old daughter to this park a lot. 1, so she could socialize with other kids, and 2, to get some outside time in. We were playing by ourselves, and then a mom who had 6 or 7 children with her, including a newborn, came, and I could tell that her hands were full. She had a little boy who appeared to be around 2-ish as well, and he was playing with my daughter for a while, and I began to look after him since she was busy with her newborn and all of her other children.
It's nice of you.
Well, they were now on the tall parts of the play area.
Ooh, they fell.
I'm 5'3", and it is several feet taller than me. I don't know.
That would
Again,
be crazy
not
high, would it be?
Not a parent, but do 2-year-olds play on the high part of the playgrounds? Don't they have like a smaller?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess if she's there all the time, maybe she's comfortable with it.
I mean,
I don't know.
I haven't
if
been
it's
in a
just
park in
your
forever.
kid, probably. But as soon as like another kid, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do.
But it's also not your kids, so you can't
I was
really
going to
Yeah.
say, it's also not your responsibility.
Yeah.
I then saw this other kid and his shoe slip by one of the openings and he started to fall off the top.
Oh, jeez.
I immediately went into mom mode and went to go catch him. Once I caught him, he was okay. But because he was scared, he was crying. The mom started screaming at me to stop touching her child.
Jesus. Just drop them.
Yeah. I then
I'd put
tried
his
to
ass back
explain.
and be like, go ahead, fall again.
Fuck them, kids.
Yeah, fuck them, kids.
I then tried to explain what had happened, and she said she was going to call the police on me for touching her kid
Oh, my goodness.
and for my daughter for pushing him.
What?
She didn't
You're
even
going to
see
charge
that.
a 2-year-old?
Yeah, you're going to charge a
Yeah.
2-year-old.
What the fuck?
Also, if you're not watching your kid, do you not feel any part of the blame?
Yeah,
exactly.
It's
It's-
clear projection
Yeah.
on her part.
7 kids to watch is a lot.
It's a
And
lot.
a newborn.
I don't know if
Absolutely.
I could go to the park with.
No.
I mean, I even feel like 3 kids by myself would be very difficult.
I can't even watch me by myself sometimes. What the fuck?
We take our niece who's 3, and I'm exhausted by the end of it. I can't imagine 7.
7 by yourself, including a newborn, is
Yeah.
That's a
tough.
lot.
My daughter absolutely did not push him. She wasn't even by him. And she had just finished cancer treatment. She's still very weak from this, and she still has her little bald head. You can visibly tell that she is frail and that she doesn't even have the capacity to push someone with force right now. I tried explaining all of that again, but she kept yelling. So I just said sorry. I grabbed my daughter and I walked back home. But now I'm afraid to go up back to our favorite park. Ugh,
Oh, is that it?
that's it. That's how it is.
I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to go back there.
Yeah, I would say go back with full confidence.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just try to socialize with other kids if you can.
Yeah, this definitely sounds like projection from that parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
don't
mean, I
get me
get
wrong.
it. They probably went mommy mode too. She's probably stressed out as hell.
No,
Yes.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. I like 7 kids and a newborn. You can't imagine she's in the best place
No.
Mhm.
mentally.
Absolutely.
Like
not.
just health wise, just like sleep wise, it's got to be insane.
Yeah.
So
7 is way too many.
I'm not super upset at her. I don't hate her. I think she's terrible, but
no.
I'm agreeing with y'all that she's definitely projecting. The guilt that she feels from not watching her kid fall is just wrongfully turned into anger.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So, I mean, yeah, it is wrongful projection, but I'm not going to go too hard on her like
Yeah.
I did with the last guy.
Hard to.
I could be an asshole. She'd be like, "Go ahead, call him. Your dumbass is the one that's gonna get in trouble, not me."
For child neglect.
Yeah.
No, then I'd feel bad. I feel terrible.
Oh damn. You guys are better people than me.
Take her. I would want to get her charged with 7 kids.
Like, well,
John don't care about
Oh.
context. He's just burned.
Just petty.
Oh, yep. That's me.
All right, Wikimaniacs. It wouldn't be a Monday if not for a segment by the Amazing Underbakke. On today's segment, we have Rate That Date.
Ooh, it's been a while.
This segment goes as follows. Your host will read 1 to 2 dating stories before each providing a rating between 1 to 5. Scoring system. Not going to read the whole thing, but
I was going to say, do we have to read the scoring?
Well, you remember.
1 is bad.
One's bad.
5 is the best date of all
5
time.
is good.
Yeah,
3
yeah.
is mid.
Y'all know the vibes. Like I said, if you're a new listener, turn it off. Turn it
What are you
off.
still doing here?
Get out.
It's been an hour.
All right, this first dating story is coming from r/dating story. OP is seeing stuff and things. This is titled Stuck with the Bill. Years ago, I drove 90 minutes away to attend a friend's birthday party and met his girlfriend's friend. Stunning woman. We laughed, and before the end of the night, I asked her out on a date, and she agreed. I agreed to make the drive, and she suggested a sushi restaurant overlooking LA, and I agreed. Oh, you got money.
So romantic.
You got money. Holy shit.
Also, 90 minutes in LA where you're driving like a
Yeah, 5
2
miles.
miles.
a couple miles.
Yeah.
2 miles of that. You stuck there at the 5, bro. You're there forever.
Yeah.
Terrible. Picked her up. She looked great. The restaurant was beautiful. We were off to a good start. The cocktails averaged about $15 each, but she ordered the only $50 cocktail on the menu.
Oh,
She
Damn.
eventually ordered a total of 3 of them.
oh my God.
$150 on 3 cocktails.
Just on
'Cause I
cocktail?
was going to say $15 for a cocktail. Not insane. Pretty average, I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't drink, so
Yeah. I feel like when you see, like, I don't know if it's the same in hockey, but in NFL, like they'll make the rookies pay for a dinner and the bill is like
60
20,000,
G's, bro.
50,000, 60,000. That's not all on food. It's on like
the
alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all alcohol. Crazy thing is, if you learn how to fucking bartend or learn how to make drinks, so cheap. It's ridiculously cheap. Anyways, little shots on thoughts knowledge. She then also ordered the most expensive appetizer and the most expensive entree. And can you guess
Did they
what?
say what the appetizer was? I'm curious what it is.
No, not yet.
Damn.
And you guessed it, the most expensive dessert. Actually,
Whew.
the dessert was only $3 more than the next most expensive dessert, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, so you're lying to us.
Technically, the truth is what he said, but he's saying the range isn't crazy. The bill came, and my portion was about $100. Hers was almost 4 times that. So I asked the server for separate checks, not to split it, but separate checks so we could each pay for our own. She just looked dumbfounded. She sighed, dug around her
Shout out to
wallet
my
for a
old
while.
podcast.
Yeah, hell yeah. And finally put her own card into her own, now separate, check. Neither of us said a word from the table to her front door. We never spoke again, and I'm happy about that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've never asked anyone to split a check on the first date, but I'm also not interested in being with anyone who does this type of bullshit either. So
I agree.
Rate
I agree.
this date.
I mean, it's got to be a 1.
It's got to be a 1. It's a bad one.
Yeah.
Not worth pursuing. Textbook.
No.
Textbook.
I gotta
one.
say, it's one thing. Like I can like, sure, if you go out on a date and then like the guy offers to pay or girl offers to pay, and it's like a reasonable amount, sure,
Yes.
that's fine. That's not unexpected. But it's when you go out of your way to get the most expensive thing,
Insane
even if it's
behavior.
probably not exactly what you want, you're just like, oh, what's the most expensive? That's when you're kind of being an asshole.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
shouldn't expect someone to pay for you.
I agree. But next time, please tell us what you ate because I'm trying to live vicariously through you right now.
Yeah, be more
Or
specific.
the next meal that I'm going to get.
I mean, what can you imagine is the most expensive appetizer at a sushi restaurant?
A sushi restaurant?
Probably like A5 Wagyu or something like that.
Yeah, or like a chutoro or like some sort of nigiri or like a I'm trying to think of the time when we went to this place, and chili is expensive. So
Yeah, he said most expensive entree. I mean, like a sushi restaurant isn't really like an entree based thing, or at least the fancy ones. I feel like you just get pieces, right?
Mhm.
So
I want. I go to all you can eat sushi. So I'm the wrong guy to
Yeah.
ask.
maybe some sort of like toro or like a tuna tower or something, or some different fish for an appetizer. But I gotta say, for the most expensive, yeah, I gotta go with the fucking A5 Wagyu. Maybe like in a stone, like those stone pots.
Damn. So she spent $150 on 3 cocktails. That means she still spent like
Those fucking
quick
Japanese
maths
whiskeys
here.
are expensive, bro.
$250 on food.
True.
She probably got like an omakase, maybe.
No, because
I don't know.
No, probably not.
Because omakase
'Cause
itself
they
is probably
got-
like $220.
Because omakase.
This is besides the
includes
point. I'm
dessert.
sorry.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say omakase includes the dessert
like,
too.
we're an hour and
so they
20
shouldn't
minutes
have
Yeah,
to
I'm
get
so
more.
sorry. Not the time to do this. Not the time to do this.
I just want to talk about food, okay?
Dating
I'm hungry
story
right now.
number 2. This one's also coming from r/dating story. It's titled "Always Tip Your Waiter/Waitress."
I
Agreed.
agree.
All right, let's hop into it. Sorry for my bad English. English is not my native tongue. Back in 2017, I was 21 and started dating through Tinder after I broke up with a girlfriend. I was actually surprised by the amount of matches I had, humble brag, there you go. And
Wow.
since it was September, there were a lot of tourists around the city, Mexico City. I matched with this girl called Laura. She was 23 and came on vacation from Poland. We talked for 2 days before we decided to meet at a restaurant to have some drinks and dinner. I was really nervous because this girl looked amazing, and I expected to be catfish, but to my surprise, she was real. And so was everything she talked about. After some burgers and a few drinks, I decided to go to the bathroom, and this is where shit hits the fan. As soon as I came back, the girl was pretty excited, and the way she talked changed from friendly to super flirty. And while she was doing this, she drank little sips from her drink. I can't remember what she was drinking, but the little sips made me start doing the same. And after 3 sips from a Jack Daniels glass, I immediately started feeling dizzy.
Oh,
You got roofied?
Uh-oh. I thought it was food poisoning, but the dizzier I got, the more Laura bit her lip in excitement. In a span of 2 to 3 minutes, my whole body fell apart. And the second we asked for the check, the waiter came sprinting, telling me that my debit card didn't pass and he needed to come up with him, which I barely understood, but he helped me up and took me to the kitchen in the back where the floor manager and the owner were already expecting me with a huge cup of hot black coffee. Both looked at me as if they were expecting it, and they made me drink the entire thing 3 times. That's a lot of black coffee, brother.
That is.
I don't know if that's how you combat a roofie.
A roofie.
Jesus.
These kept me awake long enough to watch everything half conscious. Turned out that the moment I stood up from my chair, Laura slipped some powder in my drink. And luckily, or just short of a miracle, our waiter saw everything and immediately told the manager, who then called the owner and started planning an ambush of what I later learned were my possible European kidnappers.
Oh, Jesus.
The whole time, 2 tables to my left were these really pale-skinned and tall-looking fellas that suspiciously were drinking only glasses of water. This brought the attention of the whole staff, and when I collapsed, they called the cops. 10 minutes later, these 12 mean-looking police officers sat undercover through the whole restaurant, just waiting for them to make their first move. And 5 minutes later, Laura sprinted to the front. One cop tackled her, and the other 2 guys started running. They started an on-foot chase, and 2 blocks later got caught as well. The paramedics gave me something, and I felt better. And everyone was asking me questions of where I met her, and I showed them her online Tinder profile, which was totally fake, needless to say. Never heard anything from this ever again and decided to stay quiet about it after all these years. But just a little reminder, always tip your waiters and waitresses. They could literally save your life.
That was the wildest turn from the title.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Oh, I mean, shout out to that waiter though.
Yes.
Holy. That's
Waiters, manager,
crazy.
and the staff, dude.
Yeah.
Insane
goodness.
story.
Way to be attentive. Crazy. I mean, the date itself, -5 in my opinion, but
Yeah, almost got fucking taken.
yeah.
Yes.
A very special set of skills.
Yeah, I was gonna say Liam Neeson would have had to come in and help you.
Oh my God.
That's an
that went
insane
0
story.
to 100 real quick.
That almost
that
is
was
like a
crazy.
Reddit reading story. That was crazy.
Yes.
It was. Oh man,
Oh.
that was I mean, it ended up being a
Wholesome
good
story.
story in the end. I don't know, wholesome maybe.
Well, I mean,
but
they caught the you know,
still got
three-
roofied. I
three
don't love
kidnapped.
that.
True.
yeah, I mean, you got roofied, but a happy ending.
Yeah.
Crazy that
Um,
the waiter called the manager, who then called the owner, who then got the cops involved, all within the same date. You know what
That's
I mean?
efficiency.
That's efficient. Something we don't see
Yes.
here in America. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
We suck, dude.
Yeah.
All right, Wikimaniacs, that's it for this episode. Gotta do the Venmo shout outs. It'll be quick. I'm gonna
Can I go
speed
first
run
this
it.
one, Sean?
Yeah, you could go first this one. And then I'll speed run.
I just
mine.
feel we haven't gotten through too many PayPal ones. I want to try and
Americans
burn through.
first, Josh. I don't know how else to tell you.
You're right. My bad. All right. So shout out Joanna who donated 546, and they said you're all my favorite. Antonia said sent $4. Anna sent $6.90, $10, and then again $1.
Oh,
And said, "Hi, boys, and hello from Germany. Our stupid ass government officially sided with Israel to not be called anti Semitic because, history. And I will say, if there's one country that is like, I mean, I'll give you a pass on that one. It's Germany, I'll say. But it's disgusting what happens to the people in Gaza. And it's great for doing this. I sent more. Thank you, Anna. Yes, it is disgusting what's happening there.
Yes.
I don't know if Germany has switched over since then. I know a couple of countries have over the last few weeks, but I don't know specifically Germany. But
I know Ireland stands on business.
Ireland does, yeah, for sure. Olivia sends $15, says, "Coming to you all the way from Burlington, Ontario. You're the only podcast I listen to religiously. Thank you all for keeping me laughing through some tough times. My husband had a kidney transplant. Love all three of you. No faves here." And I hope
You
your
gotta
husband
stir the pot. Come on.
Jesus.
just a little bit.
Hey, hopefully great recovery for your husband, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you for listening.
But you're in Canada, so free health.
You got better health system than us.
Wow.
Michelle sends $1.34. Inglevid sends $5. Says love listening to you guys. Much love from Tromsø, Norway, which is located at 69 degrees north.
Hit him,
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hit him with that
brother.
Norwegian accent.
Swedish fish?
No, that's Swedish.
Same, right? Are they right next
Similar.
to each other?
People from Norway are called Norwegians, right? I don't want to be a fucking idiot.
Yes.
Yeah. Norwegian fish? Yeah. That's it. That's all you'll get.
Raquel sends $10.61. Marita sends $10.61 as well as $20.91. And they say lots of love from Norway. So another Norwegian.
Norway. Y'all showing up.
Yo, fun fact. Whenever Shots and Thoughts first started, big in Finland for whatever reason. Top 10 comedy podcasts in Finland for whatever reason.
That is interesting.
It's insane. I was so confused.
They're like, let's watch these Americans get fucking drunk.
Yeah, just blitzed.
I love that. Sorry, I said Marita sent the $20.91, but that was actually Maria. My bad. Tesha sends $5.46. Ariana sends $5.19. Say, just want to thank you guys for everything. Keep being amazing. And Amina, I apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly, sends $51.80. They say, thank you for allowing us to contribute to helping. I will message on Patreon, and they did. And here's that message. It says, hi, guys. First of all, thank you for what you are doing every day. I listen to you guys almost every morning on my way to work and every evening. I'm glad to pay for your content, rich motherfucker, for almost a year now.
Love you even more.
You show me every day that humanity still exists. You guys have the heart in the right spot. Thank you for doing this for Gaza. It's so heartbreaking. I don't have words to express the horror I feel every time I see a post about the situation over there. Just yesterday, the Israeli army bombed a displacement camp in northern Rafah. Literally no words. Thanks again for allowing us to contribute. And please don't forget about the Congo. Love, Amina. And yes, the Congo is also going through something awful as well. I will admit I haven't done as much research on that one, but I will definitely look into that. So thank you for that one, Amina. And yeah, we'll end it on that one.
I speed run the Venmos. Let's go. Sadie sends $10. They write, I've been doing well, very well, but I watch the YouTube and makes me feel like a stalker, lol. In hopes to support a good cause. Plus, it helps keep me sane. So take this money and run. Hypothetically, of course. Thank you guys for all that you do and for helping me stay sane. Also, it's pronounced Sadie. And then they put it how it should be pronounced. Thank you. I'm sure I mispronounce a lot of these.
I can't run. My knees suck.
It's true. The man could sure volley a ball, though. He's very good at that. Next up.
Nah, I can't even do that anymore. My knees are shot.
Apologies. The man could drink a coffee really well, though. You should watch him. All right, next up, we got Allison, who also sends $10. They write, thank you, Sean, Josh, and John, for being one of the best parts of my day. I love Reddit on Wiki, and your guys' friendship and funniness makes it so much better. Thank you for helping those who really need it. Lots of love. Natalie.
Thank you.
So I don't lie. I can't lie. I don't know if Allison and Natalie are the same person or if we're shouting out Natalie. Either way, both of y'all, or if y'all are the same, thank you. Next up, we got Sarah, who sends $20. They write pineapple?
Yes.
Question mark.
Love
you guys
it.
rock. Thanks for doing what you do. Next up, we got Natasha, who writes, thank you guys for being so amazing and wholesome and using your platform to support Operation Olive Branch. I listen to you guys every night at work, and when I heard you mention supporting the cause, it made me so happy. Natasha sends $25. Jasmine writes, almost said pineapple, but this time it is indeed a watermelon. Jasmine sends $20. Lauren, the goat, who sends us $30 every month on top of her rich motherfucker subscription, says, love that this will go to a great cause. Sending extra money this month to help. Love you, boys. Lauren, the goat, sends $50. Hell yeah. Lauren deserves it. Tanya writes, thank you for using your platform to help the cause. Love the pod. You guys are the best. Tanya sends $10.
Thank you.
Next up, we got Alyssa, who writes, thank you for using your platform for good and helping me not feel so helpless and for actually calling what it is, a genocide. Also, happy AAPI month to my fellow Kababayans. We all three know what that means.
I think only 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Out of 3 knows what
Woo.
that means.
Yeah, Josh and John.
I'm right
actually.
there with you guys.
Alyssa sends $200.
Holy shit. Thank you very much.
Oh my
That's amazing.
gosh.
Cassandra writes, thank you for using your platform to those who truly need it. Love the pod. Thanks for making Mondays and Fridays better. Cassandra sends $10. Mia writes, pineapple just because. That's terrible. I'm sorry. Thank you for never shying away from addressing difficult topics, though. Mia sends $20. Mason writes, thanks for using your influence to support these important causes. Another one to share is that producing new technology requires essentially modern day slavery in Congo. An easy way to help is by buying refurbished on black market, which saves lives and supports the environment. P.S. Shout out to my wife's podcast, Chemistry for Your Life. Go support a badass woman in STEM. Mason sends $100.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Shout
I
out.
don't know how to buy things from the black market.
I think it
I
just
know
means
Facebook market.
like secondhand.
Secondhand?
Yeah, don't buy brand new is what he said.
Don't go to the black market.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm not in the market for kidneys today, guys.
Yeah.
I just wanted you fucking monitor.
Next up, we got Megan, who just writes, thank you, pineapple. Megan sends
Yes.
$10. Thank you. Sabrina writes, thank you for using your platform to support Palestine. Love the show. Watermelon, $10. Sabrina, thank you.
You sure?
Michaela, our riddle master, writes, bald cap reunion. Also writes, there's actually zero rhyme or reason to my recent Venmo riddles. I've just been racking my brain for the most random word combinations. Thank
I
you
love
for
it.
your presence in such times. P.S.
Wait, did they give a new one? Because my brain like .exe right now. It's stopped working.
Pollen paddle toes. Michaela sends 22 cents.
Okay.
That's like the Bo Burnham bit where he's just like, I'm putting words that have never been put into a sentence like this before. And he just says the most random shit. It's a good bit.
It's a good bit. Next up, we got On, who writes, I listened to y'all while at the gym and have had to stop my workout multiple times because I was laughing so hard. Keep
We're
doing
not
what you
responsible
do.
for any pain or damages.
Or injuries. Yeah, we
injuries.
want everybody's knees to be like John's.
I don't wish harm
Please.
upon anyone, but
I really don't.
Keep doing what you do. Love that you're using your influence for a good cause. On sends $30. Next up, we got
Thank you very
April,
much.
who writes, thank you for entertaining me at work while I pop lenses out of frames, and this is my donation to help families. Also, you guys should let a lucky fan join in to compete when one of y'all is away. April sends $5. We've talked about doing live calls before.
yes.
We just
I
don't
don't-
know how.
The technology.
Yeah.
The technology
And logistically.
and the logistics
we are not
behind
in the same
it.
place.
I know there's a way to do it.
There's
I just have
definitely a
to
way.
figure it out.
We're divided by cities and countries. Okay.
Next up, we got Caitlin, who writes, pineapple, pineapple, pineapple. Caitlin sends $30. Thank you, Caitlin. Tammy writes, thank you to all three of you for being authentic humans. The world is pretty dark right now, but you continue to bring light to many others. Jesus, thank you. Thank you for using your platform for good. Tammy sends $20. Sarah.
Awesome.
Ooh, Sarah's going to have to watch out for Juliet. Sarah writes, oh, never mind. I thought it was asking for an OnlyFans from John, but they're saying, can we get a Kevin OnlyFans? Thank you,
Okay, I'm
guys.
about to say.
I was about to say,
Don't
Juliet
want
going to
Arlo.
be on your ass, Sarah. You can't ask John to have an OnlyFans. But Kevin,
Kevin do got big paws. So.
now we're talking.
Oh.
You know what big paws means, Sarah. You know what big paws means.
big paws, baby.
Sarah sends an appropriate 69 cents.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Stephanie
Don't
writes.
sexualize my baby ever again.
Now you have to answer to John, Sarah.
I'm coming for your ass, Sarah.
Stephanie writes, I love that John mentioned Kingdom Hearts. My daughter's name came from it and no one recognizes it. Kari and I, Kari? Kyrie. Oh, like the wrestler.
So
Yeah.
close.
Kyrie and I both enjoy and often chat about the stories. Money sent in her honor as this cause is near and dear to her heart. Thanks for being people that she and her friends can look up to. Stephanie sends $2.56. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank
And
you.
Kyrie. Abby, I just became a rich and I fucking love the Patreon jingle. And
Ooh.
I love catching up on all the stories that I've missed. You guys are the perfect trio and make my favorite podcast. Keep it up.
Perfect.
Hashtag
Thank you.
Olive Branch. Abby sends $6.96.
That's what I'm
Sort of
fucking
a-
talking about.
sort
Kind of a 6'9".
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's-
talking about. You know the vibe.
Rachel says, this is all I have on Venmo, so I'm sending it to you. I absolutely love your podcast. I just started listening about 2 weeks ago, and I plan to join the Patreon this upcoming payday. And I do comment on YouTube, though. My YouTube username is Rachel J Survivor Fan. Sorry my message is so long. P.S. John is my fave, but I do love all of you. Rachel sends 66 cents.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I'm sending it
I
back,
acknowledge
Rachel.
I acknowledge you, Rachel.
Next up, we got Heidi, who writes, thank you for all that you are doing to help. Heidi sends $50. Thank you, Heidi.
Wow.
Damn.
Thank you.
Farah writes, it is my Reddit-versary. I made my account, Interstellar
Wow.
Boba, so I could follow you guys last year. Y'all are my only podcast that I listen to, and as a lonely college student who works all of the time, this show has been super comforting. Thanks for doing so much good and free. And my phone or my laptop messed up all of these flags, so I had to like really zoom in and look. So forgive me, Farah, if I get the flags wrong. But Farah writes, free the Democratic Republic of Congo, Palestine, Haiti, and Sudan. Farah sends $5.
Absolutely.
Abigail writes, for Nora, you guys are the best for using your platform for good. New Rich here, by the way. Looking forward to hearing you guys while I waste away at work. Makes the workday so much better. Abigail sends $3. Next up
That's awesome.
is Claire, who writes, pineapple, pineapple, pineapple. If you know, you know. Claire
We
sends
need pineapple
$3.
merch.
We should, yeah.
Andrew writes, Dear Sean, spelled SCHAUGHN, and yet another N. My wife and I are apparently a rich now. Rich? Are you guys sharing an account? Absolutely excuse you, Andrew.
Way to snitch on yourself there, buddy.
Absolutely excuse you, Andrew. My wife and I are apparently rich now. It feels good. She's been listening for a long time, but my addiction is more recent. Change nothing. Thanks for supporting great causes. It's her birthday soon. I meant to do this a month ago. Andrew sends $69.
Hey,
Ooh, hell
all right,
yeah. Thank you, Andrew.
you're fine
forgiven.
for now.
You're forgiven.
You're in the clear.
We'll
You're
talk.
In the clear.
We'll talk next time around.
But Wikimaniacs, on just Venmo only, you guys raised this week $721.09 for Nora and her
Oh
family.
my goodness.
So kudos to you guys. Thank you for all that you guys do. And yeah, hopefully we can hit that goal sooner or later.
That's awesome. Thank you very much, everyone.
Before we end it, I know this is possibly the longest fucking episode of all time. Josh, anything to say?
End it.
Okay,
You guys
bye.
are gonna kill me on the edit.
See you Friday.
Bye.
Therapy.